That little piece of sassy nostalgia was written by one of the leading composers of our time.
Leading
composer of our time. And his name is Samuel Barber. And some of his friends are here in his living room on the Park in New York City to celebrate a birthday that's coming up this month.
This week?
Oh, this very week. Well, happy birthday, Sam.
Thank you.
Sam Barber was born on March 9th, 1910, in Westchester, Pennsylvania. This is Sam at the age of 5 with his parents and his sister Sarah. He came from a musical family, and Aunt Lulu was Louise Homer, the renowned contralto and one of Toscanini's favorite artists. His first composition at age 7, entitled Sadness. From fairly early on, it was clear that Sam would have special musical training. And while he was still in high school, he was enrolled at the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia, which had just opened. He became a charter student of that institution. Rosario Scalero, his first teacher of composition with Sam in 1928. Sam had close ties with Europe all his life, and especially with Italy. His friendship and collaboration with composer Giancarlo Menotti goes back to his student days at Curtis. From 1943 until just recently, he lived in Capricorn, an isolated house in the woods near Mount Kisco in New York. He was, by the time he acquired this house, an established composer with an international reputation. With Koussevitzky during World War II. Sam Barber was in the Army and then transferred to the Air Force. And in 1951 with Vladimir Horowitz. Here's Sam Barber at age 42. And 25 years later, and here we are in living color.
Living color.
Sam, a theme that has run through your compositions, through your work from your very earliest on, is the human voice, singing. This love affair with the human voice, something that, that you already came to grips with in a piece called Dover Beach. Can you tell us something about that?
Yes, I had studied singing, and I had an idea of becoming a singer, a professional singer. But I have always thought that singers must be either very intelligent or very stupid. And as I was halfway in the middle, I became a composer because it was easier.
I wonder how many other composers are listening.
And so I set Dover Beach. One of the nicest experiences I had with that was when Vaughan Williams had come from England and was in Bryn Mawr, and I played and sang that for him. And he said, that he had tried to do that text, the text of Dover Beach, several times and gave it up. But he said, I think you got it.
That was quite a compliment.
Yes, it was the first I ever got from any composer.
And not the last, I'm sure.
Well, never mind.
You yourself recorded Dover Beach, didn't you, in 1935?
Yes, with the Curtis Quartet.
Sam, in addition to being a voice student at Curtis, you were actually a triple threat, weren't you? Composition was your main interest, but you were also an accomplished pianist. One thing I've always wondered, have you ever played your own piano sonata?
My sonata?
Yes.
No, no, no. I can't. I played it for Horowitz the first time. I played 3 movements, and then I fell on the floor.
Serves you right for playing the piano for Horowitz.
Yes.
But the fugue is a tremendously difficult movement, isn't it?
Well, that... I had to wait for that fugue quite a while, and Mrs. Horowitz called me up and said, why don't you get finished with that last movement? As he was waiting for it all summer to do in the winter season in his concerts. And she said, you know what kind of a composer you are? You know what's the matter with you? And then she said in Italian, tu sei stitico.
Which translates?
You are constipated. And this annoyed me very much. And so I went into my studio and composed that fugue.
It produced results.
Which has given plenty of pianists troubles. That was my revenge.
Sam, you're a very rare kind of composer. You do nothing but compose. You don't write criticism. You don't organize music festivals. You don't teach. You don't lecture. How is it that you've been able to devote yourself exclusively to composition?
Well, I've had the luck to have my compositions played by very famous performers, and so they became known rather quickly.
From almost the
Yes.
earliest compositions you wrote.
Yes.
One of those was the Adagio for strings. How did this composition actually come about? Toscanini premiered it, did he not?
Yes. The reason for that was that Rodzinski in Salzburg came to me once and said, you know, Toscanini heard his performance of my symphony, which was played in Salzburg. And he said that Toscanini was going to form an orchestra in New York, and he would like to see some more of my music. So I got busy, and I wrote one piece, first essay for orchestra, and also arranged the Adagio of a string quartet for string orchestra, and submitted those to Toscanini. I waited for about a year, I heard nothing about it, and then I was delighted to get a message from him that he was going to play both.
Not bad for a 26, 27-year-old composer.
No, that helped me considerably.
There are several recorded versions available of the Adagio played by full string orchestra, but one rarely gets a chance to hear it performed in its original version with string quartet. We're now going to hear that version played by the American String Quartet. Samuel Barber wrote 3 operas. The first, Vanessa, received its premiere at the Metropolitan Opera House in 1958. A Hand of Bridge was written a year later, and Antony and Cleopatra was commissioned to open the new Metropolitan Opera House at Lincoln Center, with Leontine Price in the title role. Later, in a revised version, this opera received a performance at the Juilliard Opera Theater with Esther Hinds as Cleopatra. To open this program, we heard Tocco and Akbar doing a piece from the Souvenirs, and I just love the tango from this suite. Would you care to do this with me, Mr. Barber?
Yes, of course. After you, Mr. Tocco.
Good stuff, huh?
Sam,
What?
souffle là.
That was the funniest thing.